Welcome back, everybody, to Sure It'll Be Grand. You know, in a way, it's a normal episode, but also a bit unique. Because, I think for the first time ever, since setting up this podcast, Eoin and I are in the same room to record. Say hello, Eoin.
Hi. Yeah, we are. It's definitely actually the first time we've ever done it like this.
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I can't mute my own microphone when I burp and stuff now either.
No.
Things like that. But it's fine. We'll get there. We'll make it through.
Try to keep gases in us as best as we can.
We'll
try.
We'll try.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is cool. A little bit awkward at the moment, but you know, we'll get there. Yeah, we're back for not an episode of What's on the Box, but we're back for episode 3 of Rings of Power. And we're back to reviewing and seeing what Galadriel is up to now and how she scorns at everyone who seems to be on the planet except for Elrond.
Yeah, and she gave Elros a little bit of respect when she saw his portrait.
Yeah.
Well,
I was saying last week, wasn't I saying, I hope we get to see him.
We saw a mural of him on the wall.
Yeah.
So I think he's definitely...
He's dead.
He's dead, yeah. Elros has died.
Yeah. I mean, look, which is fair enough.
In unrelated Lord of the Rings news, I finally watched Thor Love and Thunder.
Terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, overall, a big fat bleh.
Yeah, it really is.
Just a bleh.
And you can really tell that they weren't always there together on location.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, honestly, they I feel like they spent the whole thing trying really, really hard to recapture that one scene where the Led Zeppelin Immigrant Song plays at the end of Ragnarok, and they just didn't get it at all. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to dislike a movie that has like 7 Guns N' Roses songs in the soundtrack.
But it's also like the movie's definitely like the most Waititi has ever Waititi'd in a Thor movie. Yeah,
honestly, I also thought it was weird to me that like they got Natalie Portman back for the now Thor is funny Thor movies. Natalie Portman's a really good comedian. She's really funny. She's the best one on there. And they let her. There's like one scene where her and Chris Hemsworth do a little like riffy thing, and the rest of it, she's just like, I have cancer, or whatever the fuck.
Well, I liked her as Thor. I'd say that she was good.
Yeah, I just didn't. Parts of it were fine.
Do you know I hate Thor's new armor? The whole blue gold thing.
Stupid.
It looks like weird Power Ranger shit. Not digging it at all.
It's not. Yeah, it doesn't. No, it doesn't look very good. Yeah, I don't know. Just overall, I just didn't. I thought there was way too many jokes in it to make anything else impactful. I honestly didn't think Christian Bale was very good in it.
No, he wasn't. No,
I don't know.
He was there for the paycheck. And that's it.
He was. Here's what I can compare him to, and I'm surprised maybe this comparison has been made. Have you seen Jupiter Ascending?
Yes, it's a terrible movie.
You know Eddie Redmayne's villain voice in that when he speaks and he's like, "I will come back." Christian Bale did a lot of that in Love and Thunder, didn't he?
Yeah, he did do that.
And it's very bad.
You know what? I need to have a word with Thor. Like, when he gave all the children the power of Thor... By the way, stolen from the final episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Just saying. But never mind.
Yeah.
Did he never thought, like, when they were fighting Thanos...
He could give the Avengers the power of Thor?
Yeah!
I guess... Thor kind of forgot that he could do that.
Yeah. Maybe. I was talking to Kevin, and Kevin was kind of implying maybe that's him starting to use, like, the Thor... force, like the Odin force. Yeah, maybe. I actually don't think. I think maybe in this movie is the first time Thor realized he could do things like that. To be quite honest, he's been surrounded by magic.
Like even the whole like him whispering to Mjolnir to protect Jane.
Yeah,
and that being.
I don't think he did that on purpose.
No, he didn't. But I think maybe afterwards
shit,
he was like, "Oh, I can do things like that."
Yeah.
I'm a magical, mystical god being.
Yeah. And then they met God in it as well, and didn't converse with them at all. Not that God, the actual God at the center of the universe.
Oh, eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
silhouette of.
It's not a guy.
Space
It's
stuff.
just there.
Yeah, just stood there.
I mean, yeah.
And it is his daughter as well. He saves his real life daughter.
Oh, the actress is Chris Hemsworth's daughter. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, it's interesting going forward as to where it leaves Thor, that he like has a daughter and stuff now. Like
funny Thor now.
Yeah, I don't know. It just Ragnarok was the perfect balance of like Thor is funny, but also he's still really cool.
It comes down to that line. It's like, what are you, the god of hammers? And that's a joke, haha.
Yeah.
Oh, but then you have the awesome scene where Thor's like, no, I am the god of thunder. Like,
do you know what? As well, I think Love and Thunder comes dangerously close to Dragon Ball Supering Thor.
Yeah.
Like for anyone who isn't a Dragon Ball fan, how dare you? First of all, but like Dragon Ball Super it gets a lot of shit, and sometimes rightly so. For basically, Goku is. Like he's always been a bit of like a fun kind of idiot-y type.
Yeah.
But
like
in
a simple country
he's
boy.
Simple. He's a simple guy. He's got simple pleasures. He likes fighting things and eating food. Whatever,
but he usually doesn't put people in danger.
Yeah, but throughout Z, he still has there's these moments like when the shit gets real. Yeah. Goku does too.
Like it was when he gets Gohan to fight Cell. At first he's like, oh yeah, because Gohan likes to fight like his dad, and Piccolo tells him, no, that's your dream. That's nice. And then suddenly Goku goes, oh no, this is terrible. Yeah. In Super, it's just like, I'm going to put the whole multiverse in danger.
He honestly might have brain damage in Dragon Ball.
He technically does have brain damage.
He definitely does.
No, he does have brain damage. No, it's not.
What do you mean?
It's
canonically?
No, canonically he has. No, like from Z onwards. It's from the original Dragon Ball, because he fell off Grandpa Gohan's back and hit his head, so he forgot his Saiyan.
No.
So he has brain damage.
Yes, okay, but like.
Look, he actually has brain damage.
You think the brain damage has
progressed. To bleed a bit.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, I think there's a lot there's Love and Thunder comes very close to making Thor too much of an idiot.
Yeah.
Where I started not to buy that he's even a hero. I was just like, this guy's there's none of the old like gravitas of like okay, sometimes I'm a bit dumb, but I'm still Thor, Odin's son. Like there's none of that left really in him, and it's just like,
I want my hammer back.
And the whole like the bit with Stormbreaker getting mad at him. So are the hammers sentient now?
Yeah, I mean it always kind of was, wasn't it? Really, in a way.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't a good movie.
Love and Thunder. I watched it. Yeah. I know. I'm out again. I've fallen out of love with the MCU again.
You'll be back again next week. It's fine.
I want to make something good because they're fucking swinging and missing. Yeah. Well, no, Miss Marvel was very good actually. Yeah. Anywho.
Yeah. I watched Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it wasn't out till next week.
Yeah. No, I watched it all yesterday in one go. The most recent season, I think, is physically impossible now to watch the entire all the seasons in one go.
Watched all. Yeah, it started from episode 1.
Yeah,
watched all 5 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, look, folks, it's one of those things that you either get and love it or it's not for you. But it's definitely for me. It's in that. I was saying it to a friend of ours. It's kind of in the same realm as Ted Lasso. In that, it's a bit cheesy, but it's wholesome as well, and it's fun,
Yeah.
And they don't take itself too serious. Except when they do. Like, there are moments of, like, taking themselves serious.
Yeah, there are. But, like, that's the great thing about Cobra Kai is it knows exactly when to poke fun at itself. And how much to do it. Because that's, I think, the problem with Marvel now. Yeah. No, even She-Hulk, I think one of the reasons I don't like it is that, like, all of the jokes are just like self-referential meta jokey things, and I'm just like, I don't like it verges on the point where it just feels like you're making fun of it.
To be fair though, like, that is She-Hulk, like literally the comics.
I don't really care if that's She-Hulk.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying it's been true to its thing, and some people do enjoy it for that reason.
Yeah, some people also like, heroin and stuff. I don't know. Anyway,
hey, we don't insult She-Hulk fans. or heroin users. Either or, you pick.
Yeah, okay, fine.
All right, should we get into the episode?
What the hell is going on here?
I mean, what the hell is going on?
Right. So Galadriel finally this episode's mostly Galadriel. I think it's like the first half of the episode, and they just kind of thrown Elrond and the dwarf out. This episode, like, yeah, you're not needed, lads. Come back next week for us, all right? That's it. Like, there was, you know, it was very much Galadriel, and then we had some Hobbit stuff near the end, and then we also had some elf guy. I still don't remember.
Arondir.
Yeah.
The man, the elf who was captured by
I guess.
the orcs.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And anyway, so we go Galadriel road first.
Sure, yeah.
Galadriel gets to go
to
Numenor. Yeah. Oh.
Numenor was so perfect.
Oh, it really was.
Absolutely.
And you know what I loved mostly about it? So much Gondor, cinema Gondor in it. Like the armor, because that's what Gondor's from. It's from the Dunedain. It's from Numenor. And even like when they, obviously all the big statues, like here's an interesting thing. We're all well aware after they leave Galadriel back in the Two Tower, no, it's not Two Towers, Fellowship of the Ring, we see them go between two lads, big massive statues with their hands saying basically stop, not to go further from here, right? Mm-hmm. In this, we have Elrond's brother. What's his name again? Elros. How did you have a statue of him, and it's right in the center of the island. And instead of having his hand out, like saying "go away," it's open palmed towards all the ships coming in. Mm-hmm. It's inviting, which is interesting because the city is anything but inviting.
No, Numenor has completely shut itself off from the rest of Middle Earth.
There seems to have been a coup as well.
Yeah, they don't really explain it, and Galadriel doesn't even know why. She's just kind of like, Numenor just kind of like stopped talking to everyone. Yeah, we
get to see. First of all, the guy that picked up Galadriel is Isildur's father.
Yes. Yeah. Elendil.
Elendil. Mm-hmm. Elf friend. Yeah. Or one who loves the stars. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, he makes a point that the ruler before...
Badass, by the way.
Yeah.
Elendil.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah, absolutely. But he makes a point that the former ruler now just kind of lives in the city and just walks around by himself.
Yeah,
and,
So I think basically... so Numenor at the moment has a queen. Or I think they actually call her the Queen Regent, which would imply that she's the former king's wife, sort of.
Or she's a caretaker at the moment.
And basically...
And there's a council in charge as well.
Yeah, and so Numenor has decided they don't want anything to do with the rest of Middle-earth. They don't allow ships in or out who aren't...
They don't even have anything to do with the Valar. No, because they feel like they're being constantly watched. It's like, hey, we gave up so much of our people, so many people died, and you gave us on... so you could only look down at us. And that's one of the big things as well. The mountain at the centre of the island is a mountain to Iluvatar. Like, it's...
How fucking big is Numenor? The island.
It's a fair... I would say it's probably about mixed between Gondor and Rohan. So it's at least like Mordor size.
It's a big fucking island, right? It's like got that's a fairly sizable mountain it has in the middle of it.
And here's the weird thing. Apparently nothing can fly, nothing goes to that mountain except like eagles. Like no other animal is allowed. And like so I kinda get it. Like saying that, mostly people talk with the Valar. That's most of Middle Earth's history has been dealing with the Valar. Iluvatar comes in once in a while and says, hey, round ball, here we go, Earth is round, woo! And he flies off. And that's what he does, right? And he creates the universe, whatever.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, but like in general, it's the Valar that are always dealing with mortals and elves, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think the mountain's the most important thing, but like, they definitely, the sick of the Valar and the elves, keeping an eye on them.
I also think, and this stems from the end of the episode where the Queen Regent, who I cannot think of her name right now, she goes up this tower that the former king lives in. You don't see the king,
Yeah.
But I think like one of the last shots in the episode is her, and she's saying she says it in a way that like there was a prophecy concerning an elf who would come to Numenor and perhaps signify that things were going wrong. And I think maybe whenever that prophecy was revealed to the people of Numenor, that's when they were like, right, well, no elves then.
Yeah,
and they also,
no elves. And again, they thought, hey, wait, if there's prophecies of things going to hell, why did the Valar? Surely the Valar know where things are going. Why would they give us this island just to fuck us over later on?
So I think maybe that's why they've shut themselves off from everything, because they don't want. They're like, well, if we'll get rid of that prophecy by never letting another elf in Numenor ever again. And then Galadriel turns up.
Yeah, there's also like there definitely are groups of people on Numenor. It's not just everyone's against the elves. It is in the capital city, but where Isildur and his family are from, they speak Elvish. Like they are friends to the elves. Now, Isildur's father makes it clear that, look, I serve you, the royal family, the Queen Regent, wherever the hell you are. Like I am a servant to you. But on the sides, they do care about the elves. They don't feel a disconnect between the two, So there's almost like a civil war thing going on. And that was a thing in the books as well,
Yeah. Elendil, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know, we did see him, hence, briefly in the movies. There's a scene where they, I think it might be only in the extended editions where they cut it or something. There is a scene of him in the intro to Fellowship that shows the last alliance of elves.
He doesn't get named.
No, he doesn't get named.
But there's a picture of him with Elrond behind the scenes going,
He's there. And we also saw, it's Elendil and Gil-galad fighting Sauron at the start of Fellowship. And that's they weaken Sauron enough that Isildur is able to remove the ring.
I know TV shows do this all the time in production teams. They say they already know the final scene of this entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
think
it's
going to be that?
Could be.
I think we talked about this a little bit last week. I think the final season has to be the last alliance of elves and men, and I think it might end with Isildur refusing to cast the ring into Mount Doom, and then from there.
So Elrond definitely has to become more part of the story. Like he has been a little bit. There's only 3 episodes in.
Yeah, again, I know he's not in it this week. He wasn't in episode. Him and Durin weren't in episode 3 at all. I think maybe that's just by virtue of the fact that they have so many plots going on. The episode 3 is the longest episode yet. It's longer than the first 2 episodes. It's like 70 minutes long, right?
Yeah. They're all movie length, basically.
A lot happened, right?
Yeah.
And I think I think next week in episode 4 we won't see as much of Galadriel.
No, though I do get the vibe that Galadriel is the main character.
Galadriel is the main character, definitely. But like I think they have to. They can't show all of them all of the time.
No. I'd be, honest, if they just did we're just doing Galadriel's episode, or we'll just do the Hobbits, I'm okay with that. As long as the storytelling's good, give it to me. Yeah, look, I don't mind if they focus on specific things and just go through it. Why not? Honestly, I think the Hobbits could almost do with it a bit. We kind of seem to keep flitting away from them. Things important. But look, let's go through what Galadriel went through anyway. She goes up to the Queen Regent. She's just like, nah, we hate elves. And here's the thing, right? What's his name? The human that's with her. Halbrand, right? So there was a theory last week that I mentioned that maybe he's Sauron.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think by the time we get to the end of Galadriel's part in this, he's not. Mm-hmm. But there was interesting stuff like him being very good at deception. Suddenly, like turning the room to his side, people liking him, or at least him convincing them he's a good thief. And the one thing I really remember going, he loved the smith.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing about not only he made the rings, but he is a Maya of Manwë, the Valar, who is the guy he's basically the guy with the big smithing hammer who makes it. It's in his nature to make things.
Yeah.
So
here's my thoughts on this. Right.
It's bullshit.
No. Right. So because we discussed it. We discussed whether or not the stranger might be Sauron last time. Right. I think from here on in, this show is going to constantly red herring us about Sauron.
Yeah.
I think episode 4, it's going to spend as much of the episode as possible convincing us that this new bad guy that we meet in this episode,
the elf.
oh, maybe he's Sauron.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of it, it's going to be somebody nobody expects. They're just going to go, actually, Isildur's sister. I'm picturing her because they'd be like, Isildur's sister. Yeah, we thought we made up a character.
Didn't you get into engineering college or something? That's a making thing.
You
what?
thought we made up a character for the show? No, Sauron has been pretending to be Isildur's sister for 40 years.
No, I take it further. It's Isildur's horse that his sister brings.
Yeah, I just think there's too.
They are playing it really well.
They're
really well.
I really think they're because last week it was the stranger. There was so many things being like, ooh, he might be Sauron. This week it was Halbrand. Ooh, he might be Sauron. And I think it'll be Adar next week where they'll be like, ooh, he might be Sauron.
Here's the thing about Adar. So he gets into a fight with some locals.
Halbrand,
yeah, Halbrand, and there's a big scuffle because he tries to steal the brooch. I'm not sure why. It's just for money's sake?
No. So he goes to the blacksmith and he's trying to convince a blacksmith to let him start working in the forge and like smithing things.
Only people who are there.
Your man tells him until you pass the test and get it's a sigil of the guild of blacksmiths, and you have to have one to be allowed to work a forge in Numenor. So your man has one and he's trying to steal it so he can get in and work in the forge.
That wouldn't work out well.
No. Especially not if you went back to the same forge.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got one of those things. How the fuck do you get one of them? You're a political prisoner for the last 3 days. What are you doing?
I'm very good. You're right.
I'm great at blacksmithing. I proved my worth to the Council of Blacksmiths. I'm on the Council of Blacksmiths, dude. What are you talking about?
And look what I have. Touche.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
He gets into a fight with them afterwards as well because they caught him. Again, he got everyone at the bar on his side. He got them all to be palliant friends and have drinks and all this kind of stuff. Like, Sauron is meant to go to Numenor and become like the friendly dude that everyone likes, and he gives gifts.
He buys them all drinks.
Yes, he buys them gifts. You can say.
They never show us where he got the money, but it's safe to assume he robbed it at some point. He steals the dagger for Galadriel and gives it back to her.
Though I have a feeling she would have got it back anyway.
She would have taken it by force if she had to, I think.
Yeah! I love it. Like, she was trying to go off the island, and he goes, no, you can't. And... Yeah,
Elendil's like, no, I wouldn't do that. They'll catch you. And she's like, listen, you're either going to try and stop me and I'm going to kill you, or you can get the fuck out of my way.
I'll call the guards.
Yeah.
It's like, do you think I'm going to kill you before the guards?
Call them then, I don't care.
Yeah, and eventually he just says some nice elvish shit to her and, oh my dude, you're part of the crew! What?
Yeah, she gets, he doesn't, Elendil like speaks a single sentence to Galadriel in Elvish. She's like, yo, you speak Elvish, dude? He's like, yeah. Some of us are they still teach it in the hall of whatever the hell where I come from or something.
Yeah.
And Galadriel's just like, take me there. I'm like, what?
Is there anyone who can speak Elvish? Just, okay.
Take me to this hall of scrolls or whatever the hell it calls. And they're like, why she never explains why she wants to go there. She just instantly is like, no, I no longer want to leave the island. I want to go to this hall of scrolls you've spoken of.
And she gets to ride a horse and be very happy.
That scene was weird.
It was weird seeing her character smile for.
It was like they did it in like real slow motion.
Do you know what?
I was like, what is happening?
It gave me a vibe. It's like a 90s ad for like prostate pills, and it's just like a couple riding on. And now you can get back to what we were before.
Did you think that horse looked weirdly human?
No, I didn't notice that.
It was a weird looking horse, man. He had like human eyes and he was like very albino.
Maybe that's what the horse was on Numenor.
I think it was Shadowfax, Lord. I don't know, it's very strange.
Horses on... Hey, I mean, Aragorn can talk to like horse and stuff. Maybe it's just a thing that horses are more human on Numenor.
Yeah, it was a weird looking horse. Weird scene. That was a weird scene.
Yeah. Before she leaves, though, she goes and visits Punchy Boy in the jail. And she realizes, hey, your people don't have a king because you're the king.
Yeah.
That's not how that works, Galadriel, but fair enough. And she mentions she can see the sigil, and he fights like a warrior, and he seems to have like the weight of a king on his shoulder, and all this kind of stuff. And he's just like, yeah, whatever, fuck off. And she goes on her way. Which kind of, that part made me go, okay, you're not Sauron. Fair enough.
He could.
Still, but
he's not. Though.
It's kind of ruining this.
I know.
plot,
I honestly, I no longer think Sauron is anybody we've met so far, except like the least, like he's like the old king of New. Like it's just going to be somebody fucking mental, and we're all.
Well,
going,
honestly,
huh?
I'd be delighted with that because that's ultimate Sauron. He can fucking trick us.
Yeah, no, it fits. It would fit if we spend the entire season going. Like if we just rock back and forth between like this week I think it's the stranger. Oh no, I think it might be Adar. Oh no, actually I think it's Halbrand. And then it's just somebody completely random at the end of it.
I hope it's not someone random. I do want it to be someone that we know, but definitely
not
suspect.
but it'll be a character that we meet. Obviously, but I don't know. I think they're being too.
They're good. I
like
like
it.
it.
Too many hints.
It's
for
so
different
good.
Things,
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
Come on now.
I'm okay with it.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
But they go off. They discover the mark of Sauron is actually a map of the Southlands, which eventually becomes Mordor. It's also where we've seen what's the elf that I keep forgetting the name of?
Arondir.
It's basically where he's hanging out the whole time. It's Mordor.
Yeah, that's the Southlands. It becomes Mordor.
Yeah, as we know, like the orcs seem. Yeah, so we'll go into what he's been doing. Like he's been kidnapped, and his entire like rangers or
his military company that he decided he was going to abandon for Bronwyn.
Yeah, they're all.
Bronwyn wasn't in this at all. Actually, come to think of it, none of those humans. Or Theo, we didn't see the blade that was reforged.
No, they seem to. Maybe they met with Valron or something. So.
I literally just dawned on me they weren't in it either.
Yeah, the elves were captured by the orcs, and they're all being used to dig tunnels to all over the land, with having coverings over the tunnels so that the orcs don't burn. So, like again, in the Lord of the Rings, Sauron used to in Return of the King. He blows out all this smoke, and it's meant to make the land before Minas Tirith be dark. It's why when you see like Gandalf riding towards the army, he's pushing the smoke away.
I don't think, to be honest with you, I think Peter Jackson's films don't do that very well.
Yeah,
but
it's done.
Like the orcs and evil creatures have an aversion to like.
It gets mentioned, but I don't think it's
not.
Shown.
But it's not really shown.
We never see what.
To be honest, like the scene of Gandalf riding out of Minas Tirith, it always reads to me as if he's just trying to blind the Nazgul.
Yeah,
like he's not like pushing back the darkness. Yeah. He's just shining a big torch in their eyes.
Just has a mirror. Get out of here! He just has a mirror trying to reflect it out.
That's what it looks like he's doing. He's just, but like it obviously is the other way. But they don't really do it very.
And that's why in the Lord of the Rings we also see Saruman mixing orc strains with human, so they can be in the sun. And that's why the Uruk-hai are as powerful as they are. Not because they're necessarily stronger than the normal orcs, but because they can go out during the day.
Yeah. But I think the TV show does it very well. They make it very obvious. The orcs can't go out in direct sun.
No, they can't. They're literally covered in shoals.
Frizzle and burn.
Yeah, like proper straight away, like basically vampire shit going on. Like. Yeah. Interesting thing someone mentioned about the last episode, when they're fighting the orc in the house, he has a beard, right? This means this orc has been around for a while. He has been newly bred or made. Now again, we don't really know within the Tolkien universe where orcs come from. Like usually, it's considered that they took elves and twisted them into orcs and then bred them from that. And apparently, orcs would breed with humans as well, just to keep the bloodline going. Though Tolkien has also said he's not sure about that because he was a devout Catholic and he believed in redemption. He didn't like the idea of the orcs not being able to be redeemed.
Well, it was also I think I actually think this is what the show is gonna do. I think his first drafts was that they were fallen elves, basically like elves who had been like turned to the evil side of things and like been consumed by their evil nature or whatever. And then he changed that also because he didn't like that the elves could fall that much. Yeah. That the elves are such immortal, everlasting beings. They can't change that much.
But then we have,
they like obviously they can do stupid things
like
and be idiots,
kinslaying and
but
all that still happens.
Yeah, but they can't like the elves can't they can't go that far that they change their nature that drastically.
Yeah.
They're never like.
I always saw more as a mutation that they made. It was twisted by evil.
But like I don't know. I think I don't know, and it's because of the Adar thing. I think
which do you know the name? What the name means?
Means father.
Father.
Yeah.
Father of the orcs, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't know. It's he is an elf. We know he's an elf.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a very tall hobbit.
Nah, he's definitely an elf. I'm pretty sure he's going to be an evil elf, and that's why I think maybe they're going with that first draft.
So he has the cheekbones of a Sauron, doesn't he?
Hey! Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I liked that. I thought the fight scenes with Arondir and when he's fighting the warg and everything was really cool.
The chain fighting, that felt like elf fighting.
Yeah, that was cool.
And honestly, it made me then say, I really wish we see some of the kinslaying battles, because we've never seen elves fighting elves. Could you imagine the insanity of that? And you know what? I preferred all the fighting this, obviously, to like movies like The Hobbit, where just, even to be honest, The Lord of the Rings to an extent, when you see Legolas taking down an elephant. I know you love it as a kid reaction, but I prefer this being the style of elf fighting. That it's still like technically, like it could happen, it could work. They're just super skilled at what they do. A human could do this if they had hundreds of years to practice it. Yeah. You know?
To an extent.
Yeah.
There's a moment or two in the fight where I'm like,
yeah, I mean, that's some things, but no, but like,
you're verging towards defying physics territory.
But like the swinging of the chain and then him stamping down to make the chain go. That was cool. I was like, I can see.
It was a really cool fight. The whole thing was cool.
Yeah. Also, I was wrong about the warg.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't know how I feel about the warg in it.
It's an early breed of warg.
It's a fucking weird looking thing, and the noise it makes is quite unsettling, which I suppose is the point. Yeah. But we were talking about the wolf that the Harfoots keep mentioning, and that we see briefly in the first episode. Yeah, that didn't really look like a wolf.
No, because it had weird tusks and stuff.
But now maybe also it's not a warg.
Yeah, there is another animal in Middle Earth, like in the compendiums, that's been mentioned that looks kind of like it, so it might be that.
It's a werewolf.
Or do you mean like one of the skin changers?
It's a werewolf.
Okay.
I mean it's a werewolf.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Are there werewolves?
There were werewolves. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
There was one in particular who was like one of Morgoth's generals, who was the first werewolf in Middle Earth. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. And he had a son who was actually not a werewolf, which was a gigantic wolf who swallowed a Silmaril and got really strong. And then he got killed by, name escapes me, famous elf.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
One of Elrond's grandparents.
Finwë or something.
Right, like his grandfather or something. I think killed him.
Yeah. One of the ones that, because the things. Like,
no, it was the good dog. There was a big fucking Huan was a big giant fucking dog that lived with the elves, and he fought with Elrond's grandfather. Yeah, anyway, sorry.
Inside all Silmarillion novels, there are two wolves.
Sorry, it was Huan.
Anyway, so he's captured. They're trying to get out. They want to break to the tree line, because if they think they can get there, they'll be safe. Yeah. A tree gets in the way of them digging, and the orcs are like, "Hey, chop it down, you piece of shit!" Yeah. And he's like, the tree has been around for so long.
The tree has more right to this lands than you do.
Yeah, and they're just like, "Oh, we're gonna beat you up." And then this orc came out and was like, "Hey guys, want some more? I respect you.
Everybody be cool, man. Look, it's just water, bro. I swear,
I respect the hustle. I respect the strength. You know,
I'm not gonna poison you.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh my god, it's not, dude. Chill." And they start drinking, and the last guy lifts his head and sorts. Yep. You know, I was having maybe the poison at the bottom of the bottle. Like the bottle or something like that. So like the first drink, it's fine.
Oh, but I mean, that was really well done, to be fair. Because I spent every time
because you looked at the orc for a second, moment.
I was like, is he? What's happening?
What's he after? What's he doing here?
Is he actually gonna try and like
be friendly with them?
Be like, come on, guys, we're just orcs. We're just hanging out here. We don't have an evil master anymore. We're just chilling or whatever. I don't know. Strange. You think we might see the Entwives?
I really, really hope so.
They're in that area at this time,
Yeah,
aren't they?
well, they're to the north, if I remember
Not
right.
they're not like a million miles away.
No, but they're like a country away.
Yeah, if they hear about orcs chopping down trees.
Yeah.
We
I
know,
think
the Ents don't take kindly.
I think they technically died somewhere near the end of the First Age, so they might already be gone. But I hope not, because we see Ents, and I hope we see, the lady Ents.
I think they're still around at this point.
No, I think they were burned by the dragons in the First Age.
Not sure.
Yeah, I could be
possibly
wrong. Folks, if you know,
Yeah.
let us know. But yeah, so eventually he helps his chief get out of the tunnel thing, and he runs across, and arrow pierces him.
Mm.
He looks out over the area as well, and there are no trees. There's no tree line. Everything's
No, they've cut
flooded.
everything down. Yeah.
And
As
this
they
place
tend
is
to.
turning into LotR.
Yeah.
You know?
As the orcs tend to do.
Yeah.
Hack and burn. Yeah, and then he gets
Lots of Sauron references in this as well, the trees.
he gets caught again. The orcs kidnap him, and then the leader's like, take him to Adar. Who is, as we mentioned, Adar is father in Sindarin, I believe, and he's who's commanding the orcs in the Southlands and taking over, which takes us back to the other thing that Galadriel discovered in her mystical Tower of Scrolls or whatever the fuck, which was that conveniently there was scripts there that had been written by somebody or some other person, or found or whatever by, I guess, Elros or maybe the previous king, we're not sure, and her and Elendil read them, and it basically says that the evil team, the team bad guy, had a plan. They had
in case
if Morgoth should ever fall,
they
had a plan.
Yeah.
There was a succession in place that like somebody would rise to lead them and build their own country, basically, which is Mordor's, which is what they're trying to do. And Galadriel's like, shit.
Yeah.
Whoa, we're even worse off than I thought. We got to get there, fucking stat, man. That's how she says it too. And so he gets taken to Adar, and we don't see his full reveal. He's kind of like stepping into frame. It's all like blurred out, and you can just vaguely make out like some elven features, and
very high
he's about to step into focus, and it ends.
Another bit of the story: Isildur and his family in general. Isildur doesn't want to work with the sea. There's this interesting part where there's basically a navy that's all about fishing and protecting the island.
Well, that's Numenor's whole fucking culture was based around the sea. Really.
And one big thing is that the sea never lies.
Yeah.
So they worship the sea more than anyone. Interesting thing, obviously, if you know anything about Numenor, the sea sure has something to say eventually about Numenor, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It reclaims it.
It reclaims it big time. Yeah. Numenor gets absolutely destroyed, and there's some Numenorians and some dark Numenorians who just barely survive and get off the island.
One of whomst is Isildur.
Isildur, with his father and his sister. Maybe his sister dies at the end.
They mention a brother.
A brother as well, and I think the brother is canon. Yeah.
They mention him in this just in passing. Because Isildur tells his dad he wants to. So Isildur he's a week away from taking his final trial to be accepted into the. Yeah. It's the army essentially, the army of Numenor, or the navy. Yeah. Of which his dad Elendil is currently a captain. Yeah. Formerly a royal house. Yes. And then, so Isildur's like, I might just put it off for a year. I'm just going to defer the test and just
go traveling.
Just going to take a gap here, Dad, I'm just going to chill out, bro. What? My brother did it. And Lindy's like, who the fuck told you that? He reacts and is like, he told you what? Like, it's almost this, it was implied, at least in my viewing of it anyway, that he's like, Elendil doesn't really like this other son. He's just kind of like, why are you even talking to him? He's don't follow his lead. He's a fucking idiot kind of thing. Like, But we don't meet him. He's not around. He is named, isn't he?
He is named. Yes, they mention him.
Arwen, or is that the sister's name?
I don't know. I'm terrible with names. And he's
Arwen is one of them. That might be the sister though. Yeah. So that's what's
she seems
happening.
like a motherly figure, to be honest.
She reminded me a lot of Emma Watson.
Okay.
Just her features and also the way she spook and everything.
Really...
Anyway, yeah, okay. She's just hanging out.
She's a motherly figure in this. She's a sister, but she acts as a mother too.
She's Sauron. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
But look, she reapplied because Isildur told her to reapply to engineering college, I think it is, or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, like this is after he and Isildur and his father just had a big row, and Isildur turns around to his father turns around to say, "Hey, that's me. Where are you gone?" And he's fucked off. So relations are a little bit tight. We also see Isildur as very competent. Clearly very talented naturally.
Yeah.
He looks off into the distance at one stage and you hear a woman saying, Isildur. And it's almost like the Ring.
Yeah. And he is also, thus far, a young man who shirks responsibility.
But also comes to the fore when needed.
Yeah, it's interesting in that both sides of Isildur, they've kind of shown us hints of them so far. Yeah. You can see the competent leader type who does go on to found.
He's very capable
to found Gondor and Minas Tirith and everything after the fall of Numenor. But you could also see the guy who might easily be drawn into, forsaking the world of men for
a little bit. And not even. I don't think he's even have a power because I think at this stage he's a bit of a daydreamer.
It's not for power. I think you could see that Isildur could easily be led astray.
Yeah,
he could be convinced to believe other things.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think Isildur also. I get the vibe that he doesn't want to hang out in Numenor anymore. He wants to go further. He wants to probably also go to Middle Earth.
I don't know. He doesn't want to do what his dad is doing. I think is the main thing.
But the mad thing is, I think his dad understands him for it. Like I think his dad has the same weaknesses. He
not sure what it is. He said, Elendil
he still
says
wants to
be
in connection with the elves and all that. He doesn't want to be separate.
Yeah, but he does. Elendil says to him, "There's nothing west for us anymore, or something. There's nothing left."
But I think that's an argument he almost gives himself. He says,
"Yeah, no, it probably is, and it's both of." He means west because their family are from the western part of Numenor, but also the west.
Yeah,
there's nothing there for them anymore. Maybe a
the Valar.
Yeah, there's nothing. They're nothing there for them anymore. Nothing in the west anymore until they come back and sink your whole continent into the
The only time they ever get to the west in a weird way is when they die. Though ghosts don't go to the lands either.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Isildur. I don't think. Yeah, I think there's a lot more to come from him.
Yeah, there hasn't been much.
Yeah, I think Elendil is great. I really like Elendil. I think he's a badass.
Shall we talk about hobbitses?
Yeah, I suppose if we have to.
I mean, look, Gandalf, the stranger, really so they're doing this whole party and the hobbits sit down, and the big talk is that the hobbits made it clear that they keep on traveling. That's their big thing, and you have to keep up with them because if you fall behind, you're left behind. Like, they make it clear later on, like, you don't want to be at the end of the caravan because that's how wolves pick you off or landslides happen, and they don't stop for you. But they have this ceremony where they do stop them in remembrance.
Yeah, which I liked. I thought that was cool. That whole that scene,
cultural thing.
That scene of that ceremony where they said goodbye to all those they'd lost. Along the journey.
Yeah, and we find her friend.
Poppy.
Brandy Feet or whatever.
Brandywine.
Yeah, she has lost all her family.
It's the Brandywine River, isn't it?
Yeah,
in the Shire.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Maybe that's where the name came from.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I mean, there's definitely families have split up and into different families later on in the Lord of the Rings because you say, it's a Brandy book. And it's you kind of mix and match there, but in general, I thought it was a nice cultural scene to have.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it's still. It's just the Hobbitsy stuff is just not as interesting to me as the rest of it, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think the accents got to me this episode. I think they pushed a bit through because I was a bit okay with it before. I was like, whatever. But I don't know, maybe
it comes and goes. You can hear it. It's a lot worse when they get animated in their acting, and you can hear them. There's certain phrases they go for, and it's very like ho, and you're like,
Lenny Henry.
Read it back now.
Lenny Henry.
Yeah.
He did a lot of that this episode.
Yeah, but so did the main girl.
Nori. Are you doing it now?
Nori did it a little bit as well.
Yeah.
But that's what they have going on. They're about to set off on their migration, and then the stranger stumbles into camp.
Yes, he's trying to read the constellation because I think she robbed it for him earlier.
Yes, so when he did the firefly thing and was pointing at the stars, Nori picked it up as he's looking for a particular star or something.
Yeah, I suppose a sky from where you can see the stars.
She's like, oh, he's trying to follow the stars, and she knows your man Sardok keeps star charts and stuff.
And a pure hobbit sort of nature. Like she's underneath the table trying to hide.
That was funny.
Yeah. Oh, shouldn't we left?
Shouldn't we have left already?
Right.
You want to go right now?
Further.
Yeah. That was good, actually.
Yeah, that was quite funny. But she gets the stars and all that kind of stuff. We kind of get mentioned later on from head mayor Lenny Henry Bilbo.
Sarnok.
It's a very evil sounding name.
It's quite Egyptian, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, he makes mention that, like, he says, what do the stars mean? They mean nothing. And, he's quite agitated by, like, clearly the stars mean something. Yeah. And he's been paying attention to some sort of prophecy within the books, signs of things happening and to worry about. So there is that. They've discovered that she hid Sauron Gandalf. And it's quite funny. Like, he gets caught underneath a net, and he comes up and he looks like a big fucking monster underneath the net. Yeah. And they're like, "Don't run away!" They're just like,
"No, there's a hall." They hide. They hide behind chairs and tables, and then he pops his head out and he goes, "Nori!" Yeah, and they're all like,
"Yeah,
this bitch."
Yeah. I think it's the mayor's wife or something also goes like, "Oh, she broke the law. She has to be left behind."
Adela or whatever the fuck her name is.
Cunt.
She has to be turned out of the fucking parish now.
Yeah. Oh. We know some older people like that.
She's been with child outside of wedlock.
Yes. Yeah. And obviously the family shits itself. The mayor Zarlock. Or wherever it is.
No.
What is it?
No, I think it's Sarnok.
Sarnok. Oh, I'm sorry. I have mixed up the N with an L. Zarnok goes, no.
With the nest.
She's only a babby. It's fine. We'll leave her off this time because she's only a kid. But the caravan goes at the end and they're terrified.
Yeah, because their father broke his leg in the last episode.
And somehow they start going on their... Oh, the mother gives out shite to her and all this kind of stuff. And I think the mother softens again, saying, "Okay, you are like your father. You're very nice, blah, blah, blah." But they go on their way and next day and somehow don't realise that there is a giant human inside the caravan as they pull it along. Because he just comes out of the caravan, doesn't he?
No, he walks up behind it. Yeah. He gets under it and picks it up.
Yeah.
Because they're falling behind, obviously, because they can't.
And he goes, friend. And they're like, "See, this is how we can keep up with our friends." And that's the whole point. It's like, yes, we have to look after each other and all that kind of, but we shouldn't have ourselves closed off to the outside world because people can't help. And that's what makes me think he is not an evil entity. Because, look, it's just storytelling in general, isn't it? She says she feels something good in him. And, like, that's meant to be shown that there is wisdom in simple folk. It's just a trope.
Yeah, I know, but there has to be a reason why the flames had no heat when he landed.
Maybe.
The only other reference we have to that is Galadriel.
Yeah, but hold on.
And things
like Gandalf uses fire as well against evil, and it seems only evil is affected by it.
But that's not canon to this world at the moment.
Yeah, but they've obviously taken They've taken so much from the movies, and we see Gandalf use fiery things, and it seems to only hurt evil. Like he has, light of a Iluvatar and fire things when he's being attacked by a Balrog. We know Gandalf has powers that don't seem to affect evil.
The theory that I would love was true that I heard proposed most recently is that he's a Balrog.
I mean, the Balrog are Maya.
Yeah.
It would work. I don't think it is.
I think that'd be tremendous.
Just at the end of the show, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go into a dwarf.
What if if he's a Balrog and he is Durin's Bane? I just think that'd be incredible. Just like, and they woke something in the deep. No, he knocked on the door.
When all these characters meet up and he just keeps on doing pranks on Durin. Oh, my Bane!
Durin's Bane! And over the 2,000 years it just got to it. And then the Balrog was just hung out at the bottom of Moria because he missed Durin so much.
Yeah. It's not even like... I don't think we ever get the implication that the flames are cold either. They're just not hot or warm. They just have no feeling to them. Whereas I think we were meant to imply when the elves went there, like the flames were, painfully cold, weren't they?
No, I think there was just an absence of heat in general.
Yeah, but saying that, remember the forge, and they put water onto it, and it burns. It's like the evil coldness.
It steamed off, and then it froze.
Yeah, but we didn't see that with Gandalf Sauron. We surrounded by fire, but we don't.
Nobody's poured water on him yet.
Yeah, but we don't see the surrounding freeze.
He's a gizmo. That's what he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't give him food after midnight.
I think too much is being projected. I know your point would be that, sure, but that's the thing, they're trying to trick us. But the hobbits have the hobbits have always been the core of this world of being decent, humble people that can see good and they can judge good.
I agree with you. I no longer think he's Sauron. No. I just don't. I just don't think I would like it if he was Gandalf. Not that I wouldn't like it. I just don't.
It'd be a bit obvious.
I just think he's. I don't know.
They just brought him in because hey, it's Gandalf.
It would very much be like, come on.
Some people
can't do this without Gandalf, and I'd just be kind of like, ugh.
Some people have suggested that this could be an earlier version.
Saruman.
No, like an early version of Gandalf. So this is like every time Gandalf comes into new form, he's kind of starting from scratch with some vague memories of his previous. Like, Gandalf the White was just like, yeah, that's what they called me before. Like, he seemed to have lost a lot of memory of who he was before. So this could be like the spirit that eventually becomes Gandalf, does some things in Middle Earth, and then gets sent back, and then he comes back later in his position as proper Gandalf.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
I don't know. I
hope it's another one, to be honest. Maybe someone who's... Again, I'd like who it was one of the Blue Wizards. Maybe, even if it was Radagast, I'd be like, oh, yeah, cool.
I'd prefer it if it was one of the Blue Wizards. Because they can do so much with that and nobody can complain. Because we don't know anything about them.
The only thing we know is that they might have gone off into the east and did some necromancy stuff.
Yeah, we're not really sure. We know they exist. But they're, we don't really know anything about them.
Yeah.
I don't know. If he's an Istari, fine.
I think he's deaf. Obviously, I don't think he's evil. First of all, that's off the table at this stage for me. He's not a bad guy. Or at least if he's not a.
What if he's Saruman, and then we're both right?
I mean,
he is a good guy and eventually a bad guy.
Saruman was corrupted, so yeah. Absolutely. But no, I definitely don't think. I mean, they could play the whole thing that, he is an evil guy who once had grace inside him and he forgot all the evil parts. But I don't think. I think, trust the hobbits. This is a good guy. Not sure who it is. I think, obviously, if he's a good guy, he's probably been sent by some holy, nice people.
What if, this just dawned on me, this is not a fully formed thought, really. But what if he is Sauron and the show tries to portray Sauron as, like,
an original ballad
and like just a not like pure evil, but like a guy who makes bad choices or something,
or maybe he got corrupted by Melkor.
What if he's not he's not trying to trick anybody, but he's returned from wherever the fuck he was, and he doesn't
remember himself.
He
so
doesn't
he's
remember
more
he's
his
Sauron.
natural state again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
That's
what
why I was kind of
Sauron-
looking like the good in, but that would, again, with the Hobbit seeing good in him and saying, no, I was meant to meet him, I was meant to see him, it does make me think like Sauron would need some sort of, like, at least some slight redemption later on in the series when he turned evil and then did something a little bit good. Like, I won't attack the Shire.
Yeah, what if he gets it?
He gives the Shire to the Hobbits.
He
That's
gives
how
it.
the
He's like,
whole
that's how he
story goes.
comes back around. Doesn't Tolkien say he didn't like anybody to be beyond redemption?
Yeah.
The show's like,
Yeah.
neither is Sauron. The
No,
fucking most
I'd
evil
hate
guy
that.
ever.
I'd hate
I
that.
think that'd be funny.
But yeah, they push on, and that's all really for this episode.
Yeah, no Elrond or Durin, but they will be back. The teaser for episode
Yes.
4 shows that episode 4 will predominantly be about Elrond and Durin.
Yeah, which is grand.
Which is fine because we didn't see any of them this week.
Yeah,
We-
and I
they
like
weren't
that.
even like mentioned, and we get to go back and see what they're doing. What the fuck was in the box?
Oh, some people are saying it's the stone that Saruman had, the Elendir,
A Palantir?
Palantir. Yeah, that it might be one of those. It
Um,
did shine a bit too glowy, didn't it? To be
Yeah, but that's a production choice. Like the
Yeah.
Palantir in this doesn't have to look.
And again,
like
the other Palantir was a Palantir to like Sauron's house, so it might be a bit darker just because.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, true. I don't know enough about the Palantirs to say yes or no.
Yeah.
I know there is a story, like they were a thing.
Yeah, there are
at
like
one
4 or
point,
5
like,
of them
but
around.
I don't know enough about them off at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be right. I don't know. I'm stuck on it being a Silmaril. I don't know why. At this point, I'll be disappointed if it's not.
Yeah.
And it's probably just fucking a shiny rock. It's just nothing.
mithril. It'll be mithril. You know.
Yeah. Exciting to see though. See more of King Durin.
The Arkenstone.
Christ, it's the fucking Arkenstone. Jesus.
Yeah. I'll say this. I liked the episode, but I think I didn't like it as much as the first two.
No, I did.
Oh, interesting.
I definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, oh man, seeing Numenor is just fucking stunning.
Numenor was pretty fucking
Stunning.
great to see.
And honestly, I thought the fight scenes were great, and I think I just love everything Morfydd Clark is doing with Galadriel. I think she's brilliant.
I want to say a lot of the visual stuff was great in this episode, especially with the guards around the city. They all had the golden armor we later basically see at the beginning of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice attention to detail. And again, you know, we see that triangle sort of jutting out of the top of the city, very much like Minas Tirith. And they have like 10 trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Which which the Queen mentions actually as well.
Yeah.
She says something about when the flowers of the tree fall. It usually means something. But
Hey, Owen.
so,
What was your reaction to everyone's reaction?
what
How do you feel about how people feel about the show?
about the Rings of Power in general?
Yeah,
Um,
because it's a very loud group.
I haven't seen much of it, to be quite honest.
Oh, I
think I live in circles where people are civilized and
I
have
think
respectable
you've-
opinions.
I think you cut yourself off.
Anyone I know in real life who has watched it loves it.
Yeah, I definitely think I saw someone. I won't say where they posted, but it's a comment I saw, and they made so many points to claim that their point of view was correct because Tolkien fans won't stand for this show. We preemptively took it down. All this kind of, and then saying this is our culture. We have to defend it.
What's he defending it from?
This show.
Why? How is the show attacking Tolkien in any way? Like what? There isn't a single point to be
Honestly,
made in favor of saying that this show is
I didn't-
desecrating Tolkien's work.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently.
There's nothing. He's a racist. That person. They're all racists. They shouldn't be allowed to watch the show. We should take it from them. Imagine being such a fucking ignorant arsehole that the thing you love the most in the world, a la Lord of the Rings, gets $1 billion TV adaptation and you won't watch it because you're such a fucking racist.
Can I just say also, I saw the original cast of the movies. They all sporting the shirt with the different elvish ears and dwarvish ears and human ears being all different colours, saying like they're all welcome here.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Again, and if you have a problem with it, like if you're okay with a fucking dragon flying around, but you have a problem with a fictional Europe having some black people, which by the way, also, just you know nothing about movement across Europe in ancient times. Like, it wasn't all white anyway.
Can I also just say the Harfoots are actively described by Tolkien himself as being darker of skin?
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Love it. Folks, look, again, Owen and I have no problem with people who dislike the show. That's perfectly fine. You know what? If you don't like it, that's grand. But if you just give points saying, no, it's bad, it goes against Tolkien, without any points, I'm going to assume it's a thing you're scared to talk about. You know? I think that's fair to say. He's nodding. Folks, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. We won't be here's a promise. I won't be giving out about people again, because I don't want to take up our podcast, because it's not worth talking about. Am I right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Unless there's something dramatically we won't talk about again. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed us chatting about it. And I hope we'll get to see you next week. And hopefully we'll get to do another podcast in real life sometime. Bye.
Asher, look. You'll be grand.